How y'all doing? Tough crowd. You'd think we're at a funeral. Fun fact, Landon was the only groomsman present at our wedding, and therefore the poor guy was stuck with delivering a best man speech. Now I get the honor of speaking at his funeral. I see he gets the last laugh. If little Landon were giving this speech, he'd probably start by saying something like, "Please turn off all mobile devices." He'd be dressed way better than I am right now. I even forgot my suit jacket at home, so he'd be dressed even better than that. And you'd all probably be staring in awe as this handsome little boy stands in front of everybody and delivers a speech. Although he was often shy, Landon had undeniable stage presence. We share a lot of mannerisms, him and I, but that's something I never had naturally. Whether or not he loved it, Landon could captivate an audience and put on a real show, and I always loved watching him. I had the honor and pleasure of watching Landon grow up from a pretty early age. Not as early as his mom and siblings, of course, and this still blows my mind. I met Landon when he was 7. I watched him run around and play as a kid. He was always so full of energy when he was excited about something he loved. And bless his heart, I could barely understand a word he said. Our interests rarely overlapped, but I was always so impressed with the level of knowledge he had about his interests. I mean, he could tell me the make and model of any car on the road, and he often would. He reminds me of how I must have sounded at that age, talking about my extremely niche and very nerdy interests to anyone who would listen. My poor family knows. At least Landon was interested in normal things like cars and outdoor activities. And as he grew up, he never ceased to impress me. I watched him learn more skills and start to build and create things with big kid tools. Every time I would visit, he would show me something new he did to improve the house, fix up a piece of machinery, or just to express himself creatively. Was everything professional quality? Of course not. He's a kid. But I began to understand what my dad must have seen of me at that age. Potential. Lots of it. Eventually, when he got to high school and started involving himself in more creative projects like these, he started creating some genuinely impressive stuff and getting into things I never would have considered when I was his age. To see that difference between that little 7-year-old boy and the 16-year-old man he was becoming has been one of the greatest joys in my life. I always saw the more sensitive side of Landon, and I felt for him. He was the only boy of the bunch, but he was also so sensitive and mild-mannered, and he took everything to heart. I remember being the same way. In many ways, I still am. Not like the other kids. Not all rough and rugged like the other boys. In times of distress, he always responded best to gentle, one-on-one encouragement. When we would take car rides together, we rarely said much, but I always felt that silent, special bond we shared. Now, if you'll allow me to do something extremely cliche, I'd like to close by reading some song lyrics that spoke to me recently. I promise they're good, don't worry. And you probably haven't heard it before. I came across this song before all of this came about, but the more I thought about the words, the more it reminded me of Landon and his big heart. With every breath, with every smile, with every sound of the beating heart, your undying fire burns ever brighter. In my memories, in the words I speak, you live on. Within the unconditional love in your eyes, I found myself. Thanks for being the best baby brother I ever had. Justin will never be able to fill your shoes, but he'll come very close. Nah, just kidding. I love you, man. And to Landon, I'll see you later, buddy.